What is going on YouTube? Running on Sports back here with another video. Today is our college football week 1 preview. We got a lot of good games coming up. The last time we released a college football video was probably our news reviews that we used to do. It's been a minute since we've been doing those because the NFL preseason had started, and so now we're back and talking about week 1. Today is Sunday, August 29th. We had week 0 yesterday, and so there's a couple games for that, and but we're really just this season we'll be really focusing on the top 25 teams. Probably won't be talking about much other games unless there's some really good games. But with that being said, if you've not already subscribed to this channel, leave a like down below, share this with your friends, and follow our social media pages at runningun_sports on Instagram and at runningunsports on TikTok. And so let's get right into the video with our first game, the Citadel versus Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina was one of the group of 5 sleeper teams last year who had a great season with freshman quarterback Grayson McCall, a great player. He did very well, and I think that they'll be pretty good this year, and they've lost a couple of players but not too many, and I think that they're definitely going to win this game for sure. And Grayson McCall was honestly one of the more impressive quarterbacks I've seen last year, and I think that he was only a freshman, so he's only going to get better, and so obviously Coastal Carolina, I think, is definitely going to win this game. Weber State versus Utah. There's no question who's going to win this game. Utah will win this game, the 24th ranked team in the country, and Coastal Carolina is 22 in the country, by the way, just for reference. And then the final game, excuse me, not the final game, Ohio State versus Minnesota. Ohio State, the number 4 team in the country right now, taking on the Minnesota Golden Gophers. And I think that this game is going to be a lot closer than they have it set to be. The spread right now is currently Ohio State favored by 13.5 points, but Ohio State lost a ton of their players this past season. They lost everyone except their wide receiving core, including their quarterback and some strong defensive players. And Minnesota has some good players that are still there. They got a great coach in PJ Fleck, and so I think that they have a chance in this game. It's at Minnesota, a night game, so who knows what could happen. I think that's definitely going to be very close. If I was a betting man, I think that Minnesota definitely covers the spread. That's an easy pick in my opinion, but I do think Ohio State will probably win close at the end, but Minnesota is going to keep it close. Southern Utah versus Arizona State. Southern Utah last night was defeated by San Jose State 44 to 14. San Jose State pulled out the win versus them. Big win for them. But Southern Utah, some tough games already with San Jose State, obviously, and then now Arizona State. 2 top 25 teams last year. Arizona State's going to be a very good team this season, and obviously there's no doubt in my mind Arizona State's going to win this game. That's the 4 games on Thursday, the 2nd of September. Friday, September 3rd, we have one top 25 game is North Carolina versus Virginia Tech. North Carolina is going to have a great year this season, and I think that they're definitely going to win this game. They're favored by 5.5. Like I said, if I was a betting man, I definitely think North Carolina is going to cover that spread. They'll win by probably 2 touchdowns. Sam Howell. They did lose a couple of running backs, Javante Carter, Michael Williams, and they lost a couple guys, but they're still going to be a very good team next year with Sam Howell as the leader of that team, and so I think that North Carolina is definitely going to win that team. A Heisman sleeper, in my opinion. I think he's got a chance to win the Heisman, and I think that they're going to have a huge shot to pull off an upset versus Clemson this year. So Saturday, September 4th, one of the biggest days for college football this season. Got some crazy good games on the lineup with starting out at 9 a.m. the Oklahoma Sooners. A lot of people have them favorited to win the national title right now, and the number 2 team in the country is taking on Tulane, favored by 26.5. There's no doubt that they're going to win that game, and they'll probably definitely cover the spread. It's not much to say on that game. They're going to have a great year this next season. Penn State versus Wisconsin, and number 19 team in the country versus number 12 team in the country. Wisconsin's currently favored at 4.5. And this game's at Wisconsin, and I'd give this game to Penn State if it was home. But Camp Randall is just such a competitive environment, and hard to win a game there. And I think that Wisconsin doesn't always show up in the big games. I feel like they choke pretty often, and they lose the games that they should win, and it's a lot of big time games they don't really perform. But in front of their home crowd, I think that that's going to help them out, and I think they'll win this game this season, or win this game versus Penn State. But I think that's definitely going to be very close. Currently favored 4.5. I think that they could win it by as little as 3 points. It's going to be a very, very close game. Fresno State and Oregon. Oregon, the number 11th team in the country this year, have a legit shot of winning the Pac-12 title. Favored by 20.5. I think Fresno State played yesterday, and they played very well versus UConn, winning 45-0. And Oregon, home for them. I think that, depending on what happens for Oregon, they got a lot of experience. Really, their biggest loss this past season was Penn Sewell, who got drafted third overall to the Lions, or fourth overall to the Lions. I think that they have a lot of guys coming back, which is good for them. And Fresno State obviously had a good season, but Oregon has way too much experience. It's not that type of game for them to lose. They'll definitely win this game, and it may be close for the first quarter, but they're definitely going to pull away and win by 20 points at least. Alabama versus Miami, one of the most intriguing matchups of the year, really, for many people. And De'Aaron King, quarterback, coming off an ACL injury, and Alabama coming off a national title, obviously losing a lot of their players, almost all of them, really, especially in the offense side of the ball. A lot of defensive guys returning, and they're gonna have a great defense this year. Miami, their offense is definitely their strong suit, and they lose Jalen Phillips in the draft, and Gregory Rosu. So the defense is not there, but the offense is definitely there. But Alabama, they just recruit like crazy. They had their best recruiting class of all time for any team this past season, and currently Alabama's favored by 18.5. I think that they're going to win this game by approximately 12 points, somewhere around that mark, and they're definitely going to win by 2 scores. But I think that it could be close for the first quarter, and it's going to be similar to the Notre Dame game last year, where Alabama went up and they kind of just went on cruise control and iced the game away. I think it's going to be very similar to that type of game. And Bryce Young is probably going to play pretty well versus a defense that's not that good, and it's going to be our first look at Bryce Young. It's going to be exciting to see, but Miami, their strength is the offense. Alabama's strength is the defense right now. So definitely, I give Alabama this game for sure, and I think that they're going to win by 2 scores. Miami, Ohio versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati, a team who nearly made the college football playoffs last year, very close, and almost upset Georgia in the Peach Bowl. And they're definitely going to win this game, no doubt about it. They got a lot of people coming back, Desmond Ryder, Jerome Ford, so they're definitely in good shape to win this game versus Miami, Ohio. Favored by 23, definitely going to cover that spread. Indiana versus Iowa, number 17 versus number 18. The game is at 12:30 on the Big Ten Network. Iowa's currently favored by 3.5 points right now. I think Indiana's going to win this game. Michael Penix Jr., we saw what he did against Ohio State, and then unfortunately suffered an injury during the season later on. So I definitely think that Indiana is just going to be too much for the Iowa defense, but it's going to be a very good game, and I think that's going to really come down to a Michael Penix Jr. leading drive at the end of the game. Northern Iowa versus Iowa State. Iowa State, a great season last year, number 7 team in the country. No doubt in my mind, Iowa State's going to win this game. Louisiana versus Texas is a game that very interesting game, and a lot of people think that Texas could lose this game. I don't I don't know if they're going to lose this game. I think that it could really go both ways. You have Texas, who has a new head coach, a lot of new faces, and they, just a whole new culture of the program. And then you have Louisiana, who has a bunch of their star players returning from the past season, and it's going to be their first game as Texas all together, the new team, and so we don't know how the chemistry is going to do and whatnot. But I do think that it's going to be a very, very, very close game. But I think Texas is going to pull off late with the offense is going to go down and score at the end of the game, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. I just think that it's going to be close, but I got Texas winning this game. San Jose State versus USC. San Jose State yesterday took care of business versus Southern Utah. Very good win for them, but their defense, they did not look that good. They looked immature. They looked young. They didn't not look that good. But the offense was on fire. They were dominating it, but the defense was really not that good. They had a lot of bad penalties, and I think that they would have a chance if I hadn't seen their defense play that bad as they did versus Southern Utah. And this will be a decently close game. I think USC is going to win by around 2 scores, probably like 9 points or something like that. But definitely, I think they'll try and keep it close as much as they can. But I think they're just gonna they're gonna come back, and it's gonna be too little, too late. Is probably what's gonna happen for them. But their offense definitely could give them a shot to win this game if it plays good enough. Georgia versus Clemson, really the marquee matchup, the highlight, the main show for this week 1 of the college football season. Number 3 versus number 5. Clemson new quarterback DJ Ucla, and JT Daniels gets his first start starting the season. We projected to start the full season this year, and we're going to see actually how good he really is, which is going to be exciting to watch. And this is going to be a great game. This will be a very close game for sure. I think that it's going to be pretty high scoring. Both these teams' defense are not great. I think that it's going to be in the 40s and possibly the 50s maybe. And Clemson's currently favored by 3 right now, but I think that Georgia's going to win this game with their experience and with their Georgia's going to win this game. Just JT Daniels, I think, is going to get it done. DJ Ucla, last time he started in a meaningful game, he lost and versus Notre Dame, so I don't think he can get it done in this game, which is an even bigger game for them starting off the season. And I think that there's if Clemson loses this game, they have bigger problems than if Georgia loses this game, because Clemson's strength of schedule is nothing compared to Georgia's strength of schedule. Georgia's strength of schedule is much, much harder than Clemson's, so there's definitely that aspect of it, and I think that is why Clemson needs to win this game, but I just don't think that's going to happen. FAU versus Florida. Florida, the number 13 team in the country, favored by 24.5 points. Emory Jones is going to get the start. Definitely an easy win for them. Texas A&M versus Kent State, the number 6 team in the country. Texas A&M favored by 29.5, easily gonna win that game for sure. Montana versus Washington. Washington, the number 20 ranked team in the country. Washington definitely should be an easy win for them. LSU versus UCLA. LSU favored by 3.5 points, the number 16 team in the country right now. And I think that this is going to be a pretty close game. UCLA played yesterday and they won. And I think that they obliterated Hawaii. I think that they've got a legit shot to upset LSU. I think they will. I think that they're not going to be ready for them, and I think they're going to underestimate them, and they're going to upset LSU in this game in UCLA. It's going to be a good game, but I think UCLA is going to pull off the upset. And then the final game of the week, Notre Dame versus Florida State on Sunday, September 5th. Notre Dame, the number 9th team in the country. And I think that Florida State, they're going to be a pretty good team this year. And they're at home. And I think that they honestly could pull off this upset. I really think they could do it. And I think they will. I think that they've got some good quarterbacks, Mackenzie Milton. They got a good coaching staff and Mike Norvell, good receivers, great defensive backfield, and a great transfer class. I think that they got a really good shot to upset Florida State or Notre Dame, and I think they'll do it on Sunday. So that is all the games for this week. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have not already, please leave a like down below, subscribe and share this with your friends. Thank you guys so much for watching.